Welcome to the Freak Podcast. You ready for some R&B, funk, soul, and Prince? Let's go. And now, your host, the real Russell.
What time is it?
Something I already know. I'm so cool. Honey, baby, can't you see? Girl, I'm so cool. Ain't nobody bad like me. What time is that? 777 out of 311. I wanna spend the night with you if that's alright. 777 out of 311.
Oh yeah, y'all. I got 10 seconds to get to the dance floor. Y'all know what time it is. Oh Lord, give me some of your chocolate. What you waiting for, baby? Chocolate. Oh Lord, give me some of your chocolate. Just can't wait. I'm talking about the jerk out. Got to make some love tonight. The master of the jerk. It's about some Minneapolis funk tonight. Got to make some love tonight. Make some love. What's up, everybody, and welcome back once again to the Freakopotamus Podcast. How's everybody doing today on this Hump Day Wednesday? Glad you guys can make it. For those of you who are joining in, drop it in the chat where you're tuning in from, who you are, say hello, what's up. Tonight is going to be a very funky night, very purple night. For those of you who are Time fans, tonight we're going to revisit the Condensate album by the original Seven, formerly known as The Time. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to play some music. We're going to talk about the very underrated album, and we're going to show some video footage from that time period of the band and what they were doing. But first, I want to give a shout out and a special thanks to all of the folks that have shown me love recently and over the past couple of years since I've been doing this, showing me gratitude for what I've been doing. And I really appreciate the support and the comments that everybody has given me over the past couple of years. Most recently, it takes a lot of work to do this stuff, and like I mentioned before, I'm just a small guy on a small platform, trying to teach, trying to share with like-minded people who are music enthusiasts and music lovers like myself. Just trying to give back some of the knowledge that I've gained over the years since I was a kid about music, particularly R&B and funk and some soul. So tonight, I'm thrilled to be talking about one of the funkiest bands to come out of Minneapolis. One of the bands that Prince himself was afraid of, The Time. But first, I want to get to some purple news, and I want to get to some acknowledgments. First, I want to acknowledge the fact that we lost one of the pioneers in R&B music, and that is Miss Roberta Flack. Passed away a few days ago. Rest in peace to Miss Flack. Condolences to her family, her friends, and also we lost another pioneer in the music industry. And he is one and only Chris Jasper. He was a huge part of the Isley Brothers. Best known for the song that you're hearing right now, Caravan of Love, Insatiable Woman, and some other stuff. I know that he put out an album or two called under the name Isley Jasper Isley. Passed away same day as Roberta Flack did as well. Yeah, I think we also lost somebody by the name of Robert John. Just found that out today. He passed away, I think today or yesterday. 79 years old, I think it was. But he was best known for a song called "Sad Eyes" back in the 70s. Maybe some of you guys that grew up in that time period, was a kid, same time I was, remember that song. I think it was the late 70s, song called "Sad Eyes." Anyway, condolences to all three of those people who we lost this week. On to some purple news. I'm sure everybody knows by now about the Prince Netflix documentary being canceled. It was mentioned on a lot of the other purple platforms. I'm just going to mention it here briefly as well. So as you know, Ezra Edelman was the intended director of the Netflix Prince documentary, but the project was shelved and will not be released. And the explanation is that, the documentary was basically to cover Prince's life and career. Edelman, an Academy Award-winning filmmaker, worked on the project for nearly 5 years. The estate had concerns about factual inaccuracies and sensationalized events in the film. And the estate and Netflix agreed to withhold the release of the documentary originally. But instead, the estate will develop and produce a new documentary for Netflix using unreleased Prince material. So the original deal was for a 6-hour series, but Edelman's final cut was cut to 3 hours. Oh, no, it wasn't cut. The final cut was 3 hours longer, so it was actually 9 hours. It was cut down to 6 hours, my bad. And so the film reportedly included accounts of abuse by Prince. Viewers who saw the film described it as a thorough examination of Prince's life and work. So I don't know how everyone feels about that. I know how I feel, and I said it in the beginning because I did a show on this a while back, probably, I don't know, not even a year ago. Richard Cole and I did a show about this, and we basically came to the conclusion that, as fans, Of course, we don't want to see him in a bad light. Nobody does. But if the events in his life were depicted in this documentary and it was actually factual, I would have been okay with it. But apparently the estate feels differently, and I'm okay with that too. And so because of this, the vault is once again free. So that means the most important thing for us fans is the music can finally be released. The stuff that we haven't heard, the video footage, everything else in the vault is finally free again because it was tied up apparently in this documentary. So I think that's really all I care about at this point, is the fact that the vault is open and free and I'm ready for some music. That's all we really care about as fans, I think. I don't think anybody really is sweating over the cancellation of the documentary. It may be released underground. Somebody may find a bootleg copy of it. I don't know. I don't know if I want to check it out, but I'd be curious. I probably would check it out. I don't know about you. So anyway, enough of that. We're going to get away from the documentary fiasco. It's been kind of put to bed, thankfully. So let's talk about this. How about they're going to release Purple Rain in theaters across the nation on March 5th. A new Dolby remade version of Princess Purple Rain will screen nationwide March 5th. The high-def restoration of the movie will play in AMC theaters, including Rosedale and Southdale in the Twin Cities. I checked my local listings. I ain't see anything, but I'm cool with it. I've got it on 4K, and that quality is amazing. So I don't know. You may want to check your local listings and see if it's going to play in here. It'd be cool to see it in theaters again. You know, as an adult, when I first saw it, I was probably like 16 and was blown away, like everybody else. So that's that. Check your local listings for that. We've got this coming up, and let me make it a little larger so you can actually see it. Who is this put on by? I can't read the top because like my graphics are blocking the top. But anyway, it's the music of Prince, featuring former members of the new power generation with special guests Brown Mart from the Revolution. And that's going to be July 10th at First Avenue in Minneapolis. So those of you who are in Minneapolis around July the 10th, you might want to check that out. If you're not from Minneapolis and want to go to Minneapolis, check that out. Put that on your calendar. And of course, this is going to be after Celebration. That announcement came out this week. Celebration announcement was made by the estate that they're going to do the celebration this week, the week of Prince's birthday, which I think is awesome because I don't think it was the week of his birthday last year. I think it was after, but I guess they finally came to their senses and listened to the people. And this year they're going to do it the week of his birthday, and I hope to be there this year. I have never been to a celebration, and I've always wanted to be there under the huge purple bubble with like-minded people. And I'm going to do what I can to scrape up some funds to be at Celebration this year. The joke last year for me was, do I need to start Ubering, doing some DoorDash, or maybe get on the pole to raise some money to go to Celebration? But I didn't do any of that, so I wasn't able to go last year. But hopefully I can get there this year. I'm curious to see if they're going to drop their prices, but most likely not, especially, these times of, I don't know what's going on in the world today, but inflation is going to get worse than it really is. So we'll have to wait and see how the estate handles that. But anyway, tonight, what we're here for is, for this reason, the original 7, the Condensate album. For those of you who have it, hold on to it, because it's hard to find these days. I guess you can find it online, but I got my copy, and it is amazing. It's very underrated. I don't know why it didn't get the push that it should have gotten, but there are 2 versions, I think. I think there's the version with just the CD and the music, but I was fortunate enough to get the version that also included the DVD documentary, which is very cool. And I don't know, this is very nice. This is a booklet that came inside of it. Let you check it out real quick. It's got, of course, the cover, and it's got all of the lyrics to all of the tracks on here. Each page has a different member of the band on it. Is it a cool picture? Yeah. So yeah, that's the lyric book. That back down. And I don't know if you can see the actual CD, but it has like moisture drops on it because the name of the album is Condensate. So here's a funny story. I never realized that those moisture drops were actually on the CD, right? And so I've been keeping this CD out in my shed. And so I went to get it a couple nights ago, and I opened it up. I was like, is that like moisture on the CD because it's been in the shed for so long, or is it like rat pee? But then I was rubbing it, and I was like, no, this is the actual CD. It was meant to be there. So anyway, as that. And in the back, I don't know if I didn't show you that, but there's a picture of Morris and Jerome. Back, Morris E-Day NJB. So anyway, that's that. Hope you got yours. If you don't, go to Amazon or someplace that may sell it. I think having the physical copy back be awesome. It'd be awesome if you can get the DVD as well, because it's a very cool documentary. And then I'll be showing some clips from that documentary tonight. But I just wanted to go through the track listing real quick, if I could. There's basically 16 tracks on the CD, and 14 of those tracks are actual songs. And there's an opening, an intro, and I'll play in just a second. Now, I hope YouTube doesn't slap me tonight. The copyright cops over at YouTube and Facebook, I hope they don't slap me with copyright infringement. I'm not going to play every song in its entirety, because that'd be way too long. We'd be here 3 hours. But anyway, I'm just going to play some clips so I don't get slapped for the most part. But anyway, this is actually the introduction. Sorry about that. My bad. Still jamming. Anyway, this is the introduction to the CD. And it starts out like this.
This is Original 7 Breaking News.
Or is it? No, I'm sorry. This is the intro. Sorry, my bad. I jumped ahead. That's what happens when you go live.
They still ain't took these damn roaches.
No net.
4th and Penn. 2108 4th Avenue North.
Ooh, look at that big one. Ah, Lord. I always knew I was going to be somebody.
You somebody.
I just didn't know what.
I did.
Been around the world,
Many times.
did a lot of things.
Like her.
Had a lot of fun.
Woo, a lot of fun.
But I never had as much fun
Well,
as I had
take your time.
with the original 7.
Check.
And it ain't over yet. Fellas, can I count it off one time? Can I count it off, fellas? Fellas, can I count it off stingy one time? Stingy. Stingy. Stingy.
All right, so that's the intro to the album. And then from that point on, it's nonstop Minneapolis funk. And it leads into a song called Strawberry Lake. And it goes a little something like this. Come on, YouTube, don't slap me. This song reminds me of some Sly and the Family Stone. I don't know about you. So what a song to start with, man. Strawberry Lake is strong. And like I was saying, the way it's sung, more starts out in that low voice and goes higher. And you got the female vocals in the background. The female vocals in the background, probably, if you don't know, Sue Ann Carwell was also on several of these tracks on this album. She did like backup vocals. For those who don't know who Sue Ann Carwell is very well known in Minneapolis, the Purple Circle. She's done a lot of work with these guys over the years, Prince as well, and some other folks. Very well known. So let's move on to there's a press conference clip that's track number 3 actually, and that's what I began to play in the beginning.
This is Original 7 Breaking News.
Mr. Day, Mr. Day, Mr. Day, Mr. Day.
Hold on, settle down. There's room for everybody.
Mr. Day, how do you address the rumors that you're no longer cool?
Why would you say that?
Well, we noticed when you performed tonight, you seem to be sweating.
Oh, the moisture that you see forming on my forehead and falling about my face. Mm-hmm. Let me fix that for you. Say we were on a date, and I pull from the refrigerator one of the finest bottles of champagne money could buy, and I set it on the counter. The moisture that forms on it, Jerome, what would you call that?
That's condensation.
Yes. So you see, I don't sweat, I condensate. And yes, Morris Day is still cool.
Yep. So that's the track number 3. Anyway, let's talk about the album for a minute. Let's talk about the history of it and everything you need to know about it. Condensate is the 5th and last studio album by the American funk ensemble, the Original 7, formerly known as The Time. It was released on October 18th, 2011. That's almost 15 years ago. Can you believe that? The album was the group's first release in 21 years from that point, 2011. No, I'm sorry. Since the Pandemonium album back in the 90s. But anyway, Condensate peaked at number 58 on the U.S. Billboard 200 album chart and number 10 on the U.S. top R&B hip hop albums chart. Trending was also released as a single and reached number 77 on the U.S. hot R&B hip hop songs chart. This is the description that was on Amazon about the album. The description says Morris Day, Jesse Johnson, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, Gary Jellybean Johnson, Jerome Benton, and Monty Moyer revitalized the sound of Minneapolis funk in their first new album together in 21 years. Condensate features 14 brand new but instantly familiar Minneapolis funk songs by the band formerly known as The Time. From their origins in the 80s as Prince's first pet project led by the cocky protege Morris Day, this playful brash group delivered groundbreaking funk rock dance grooves. Now, for the first time since the 90s, the original members of The Time have reunited as the original seven to deliver an inventive and unapologetically funky album. Condensate has all the old funk magic and swagger of the early years and asserts funktastic confidence perfectly suited for today's audience. Endlessly entertaining, this new collection of 14 grooves puts the fun back in funk. The album named Condensate is taken from Morris Day's tongue-in-cheek comment, "I don't sweat, I condensate." And there you have it. Now, as we know, the reason behind the name change is because Prince owned the rights to the name The Time. Therefore, when they released this album, they cannot use the name The Time because of Prince's ownership. So they went with the original seven, which I think confused a lot of people that didn't know who they were, or they weren't diehard fans like we are. And so I don't think it played well in their minds because they had no idea who the original seven could be, or it just basically didn't get the push. I think it didn't get the push from the record company, the push that it should have gotten, because it was a really, really funky album, and I enjoyed it, and from the people that I've talked to, they enjoyed it too. It just didn't get the play and the push it should have. Trending was the only single that came off of that. Some of the R&B stations played some of the other stuff periodically, but nothing that really was in rotation. So I don't know, man. I wish that it would have gotten the push that it should have. Hate to repeat myself, but I've always said that ever since this album dropped. I was hoping for much bigger. I was hoping for like a nationwide tour. I was like preparing myself mentally. Oh, this is going to be great. We haven't seen The Time, the original members, together since, was it 1990 when Pandemonium came out? And that was their reunion album in 1990, which Pandemonium. And the reunion album in 2011 was another reunion album in this Condensate. They did a couple shows out in California at Club Nokia. I think I have a video for that. Let me see. Bear with me 1 minute, folks, as I delete some of these files. Let me go and grab the video for that real quick, and I'll show you some of the footage of the shows that they did to promote this album in California. Real quick. Bear with me. I got you. So here we go. This is from the Club Nokia back in 2011.
Y'all bring some more, she's gonna go right now. Excuse me, mirror check. Shall I address the obvious? You may notice a bit of moisture forming on my forehead and falling about my face.
Go Morris.
That's why we did the damn album. It's called Condensate, not Sweat. Y'all get that shit together tonight. Y'all got it, LA. Drums, let's keep this party poppin'. What's that called? What's that called? 1, 2, 3, 4. What the hell are we fighting for? Y'all got that? Y'all gotta get a little funky in there. That's a little corny.
You know what's coming next, right? Check.
All right, that's move your head. That's good. Come on. Y'all sound pretty good. Y'all stop. Up there, come on. Down here. Shut up. Be quiet. Don't go.
Man, this would have been an awesome tour. The originals, that would have been an incredible tour. All right, there you have it. That was at Club Nokia out in California back in 2011, promoting the new album Condensate at the time. We got a little taste of what a tour would have been like, but, the album wasn't pushed and the band just kind of fell apart. I think a large part of it was that Jesse Johnson decided he no longer wanted to be a part of it. And so at that point, when you lose Jesse, it just kind of crumbles from there. And so we didn't get a tour. We didn't get the album push that it needed. But, it is what it is. So let's get back to some music. We're going to go and check out track number 4. Title track. It's called Condensate. Is that not funky or what?
It's all right, I know what you're thinking. It ain't true.
I don't see anybody down in the comments. I don't see anybody in the chat. At least not here. We're going live over on Instagram tonight as well, by the way. Forgot to mention that. So any comments that are happening over on Instagram, I cannot see. I can only see the YouTube ones and the Facebook ones. Oh, why did this album get the push? So funky, man. I can hear this on the radio today. All right, we got a little taste of that as we try to avoid the YouTube cops slapping me tonight. YouTube, if you can hear me, I do not own the rights to this music, okay? Anyway, let's take a look at some of the DVD footage from the DVD documentary that is included with this album. If you were fortunate enough to get the version where the DVD was included, And this is some footage from the actual documentary. I'm gonna play that real quick.
To my right is the man of this entertainment business, Mr. Morris E. Day. Ain't nobody bad like him.
I like you, bro.
Has anybody seen this? Has anybody
Next to me is
seen the
my
documentary?
uncle. My uncle Monty.
So much fun, man. These guys together, it's like family with them. All in the family.
The infamous Don't Be So Mean, Joey Bean Johnson.
And on my right is badass guitar player Jesse
I met
Johnson.
Jelly Bean once. Cool guy.
To my right is my long-lost brother from another mother, but nevertheless. And I always say Terry and I truly, honestly have a love-hate relationship because we love each other, and sometimes we hate that we love each other. But it's all cool because it's encapsulated in love.
That's pretty good. I like what you wrote. Well, to my right is one of the best partners in the world, and one of the best keyboard players, songwriters, producers, the super bad Mr. Jimmy Jam.
Thank you. This is kind of very nice. In the middle. Wiggle in the middle.
Jiggle in the middle.
And to my right, my roommate.
My teacher. My brother. From the same mother.
Yeah. He plays the mirror like nobody else. Award-winning Mr. Jerome Benton.
Grew up in the pride.
So anyway, there you go. I just wanted to show a little footage from the documentary included on the DVD that comes with the album. If you weren't fortunate enough to get that version, but you could tell these dudes, man, they're like family. As you could tell in the video, when they're together, you could tell that they're very, very comfortable with each other. I mean, they basically grew up together and have been playing together for so long. It's like they became family. And I don't know, Morris Day and The Time are still out there touring and stuff, and they've got some excellent musicians in the band, and Tori and some other ones. But when you got the original members of The Time, that's special, man. I miss that. You know, I know over the years, people from that band, there's so many special talents and so many successful talents in that band. It's kind of hard to stay together as a band when you've got that much talent within the band and each individual successes within the band. I just hate that it fell apart, and I would love to see another reunion, another album, and another tour before it gets too late. You know, they're all getting up there, so are we, and I just like to see it happen again one more time. Let's give us another album. Maybe something's in the vault, because I've heard some stuff. Prince say that there's some Time stuff in that vault that we've never heard, and he talked about. I think there's an interview he did with Kurt Loder where he talked about there's some real hardcore psychedelic Time material in that vault. And we know about the Corporate World album that was never released. That's got to be in there. So release this stuff. The State, if you're listening, we know that there's some Time stuff in there that we haven't heard. And it's got to come out. It has got to come out. So free free the time stuff from the vault. Let it fly. Anyway, let's get back to some music real quick. What's next on the agenda? Next song is the single that was released from the album, and this one is called Trending, which was a popular word back in 2011.
I always knew I was going to be somebody. I just didn't know what. I did. Been around the world many times. Did a lot of things. Like her. Had a lot of fun. Woo! A lot of fun. But I never had as much fun as I have. Take your time. With the original 7. And it ain't over yet.
You guys can remember they did this show live on Jay Leno and some other shows, I think.
Fellas, what's up?
I think deep down in their hearts,
Jelly bean.
they felt that this album was going to take off. So they did a little bit of promotion on it until it fell apart.
I'm bringing heat, beasting on hot topics every week.
That's got a hard bass line, right?
And I don't even try, and you know it.
You know that bass synthesizer?
I'm cool, that's why. Come on, type it in. Pretending they talking about me. They talking about me. They talking about me. Yeah, pretending they talking about me. They talking about me. They talking about me. Yeah, worldwide, we're about to make history. Got all the sexy people getting down with me.
All right, that's the single that was released from the album called Trending. Let's see. Let's take a look at some footage. There was a news report that was actually done to promote this album as well. Let's see. And that would be right here.
It's so awesome.
You're in the background right there.
I think I am. I'm a little groupie. Have the album, do every word. It's the best. They actually helped create what became known as the Minneapolis sound in the early 80s. Did I have to tell when that was? Totally dated that. Now, one of the biggest bands to come out of Minnesota is Getting Back Together.
Yeah, they're classic. Maury Glover's joining us. Maury, you get to sit down with the original members.
Oh man, this brings back memories.
For their big show.
So excited for Getting Back Together. Tour is coming.
Say it with me. What time is it? That's right. For the first time in more than 2 decades, the original members of the time are making new music. They say this is the first time ever they've been able to write and produce all their own material. But they still have the same lighthearted attitude and funky sound that made them famous 30 years ago.
It doesn't take long with the artists formerly known as the Time.
It's like a old pair of Stacy's that's been in the closet for 20 years, and you pull them out, put them on, and they fit so comfortably.
To figure out they're more than just a band.
My favorite part of this, even besides the music and the recording and touring and all that, is just being with these guys.
In fact, it seems like old times.
We were on the plane today, and the pilot came back and was like a big fan. You know,
Cool,
the dude who was flying. You know,
With time.
again, this is the second part of our coming back to folks.
Their journey started 30 years ago in Minneapolis when a young singer named Prince offered to help his childhood friend Morris Day create a group of his own. Jimmy Jam and Monty Moyer on keyboards, Terry Lewis on bass, and Jelly Bean Johnson on drums. They soon added guitarist Jesse Johnson, and during rehearsals, the final number, Jerome Bent, along with a signature bit for their stage show.
Like I said, somebody bring me a mirror. He ran in the bathroom, grabbed the mirror off the wall, and brought it in, and we were like, that's staying, and he's part of it ever since.
Steve McClellan booked the band's first gig at First Avenue.
They had a lot of impact. There's no doubt about that.
And he says there was a lot of buzz around the band that embodied what later became known as the Minneapolis sound.
Yes, there was a whole lot of hometown rah-rah-rahs going on. These are our guys. There was also some real good stuff. If they'd gone out anywhere else, it would still be good stuff.
Soon, the band's mix of funk, dance, and pop produced a string of R&B hits like 777, 9311, and The Wall. They even made an appearance on American Bandstand with Dick Clark.
When you're talking about Minneapolis, you're just whistling Dixie. It is cold out there.
From the outside, the band looked like it had it all, but on the inside, it was much more complicated. Prince wrote and performed most material on their first 3 albums, and band members felt the more popular they got, the more threatened Prince seemed to become.
He used to call it, don't do that bird dance. Don't do that bird dance again. If you do that bird dance, we were always getting, I have notes like that in my scrapbook that he would say, I hear that guitar pedal again, you'll never hear a guitar.
By the time Purple Rain and that bird dance made the time household names, Jam and Lewis had been fired for missing a gig, and Monty Moyer also quit, followed to L.A.
It's like seeing a family member go away. I'm going, to Iraq or something. I understand, but it was just devastating.
The original members got back together in 1990 to record their fourth album, Pandemonium, and to appear in another Prince movie, Graffiti Bridge.
You can't battle me, son. You still wet behind the ears. Wet behind the ears. Psych.
But despite producing the band's best-selling single, the reunion was short-lived, and the members went their separate ways again.
Ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the Recording Academy, James Harris III, better known as Jimmy Jam.
It wasn't until 18 years later that the band reunited to perform at the Grammys with Rihanna, and decided it was time to write chords and new music.
The other thing it showed us how much we missed each other and enjoyed working with each other. I mean, we probably laughed. I probably laughed more like the first night we all got together. We wasn't no rehearsal going on whatsoever.
Now the band is back together. They're making up for lost time.
Back in the early days, in the early 80s, all the dances we did were old man dances. Everybody said old man dances. We hit the four corners. We hit all the old dances. So the thing is now it's really cool because now we can still hit them dances and we all old man now.
So they old man dances now.
But when I think about
except they look a little more authentic.
Yeah, they are now.
Even after all these years, Prince still has a hand in the group's direction. He owns the rights to the name and the time, so they are now the original seven.
We got a cease and desist letter, and so we figured it was a problem. So it's either be creative and be above it, or start hiring lawyers and doing what's not important. You know what I mean?
And while their music sounds old school, the subject matter is very current. Because no matter what they're called, this group of musicians, this family, will always be, well, cool.
Fans of ours from 30 years ago, and their son or daughter, that they're going, now this is real music, this is what I'm talking about, that kind of thing. So that's been real cool too.
We're not athletes. We can do this till we drop dead. That's what I love about a musician. Never has to retire. Never. This is something you get to love and do until the day you drop dead.
Then let's get back together and do another album.
CD
called Condensate last month, and they're playing a show at State Theater on Saturday night. They hope to follow all this up with a national tour next year, and they say they are planning to record more music in the future. So,
Boy, it's great to see them having a good time.
Yeah, and they're super nice guys, still down to earth, and just a really fun group. You can tell they really enjoy being together and enjoy playing music together.
I am more in love now than I was back then. I love them. It'll be my mission now to, being in Minnesota back home and all that, to meet the time.
Okay.
I'm very jealous.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Autograph CD.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, I'm sure their tickets still available for the show on Saturday, so you can head down.
They really are. And Prince?
On the map, too. I mean, musically, along with Prince.
Yeah, but he should let him have names. That's ridiculous.
Seriously. Well, we don't really know.
That's not a lawyer. I can't say that. They'll always give me time. That's all I'll say.
That's the way it is.
Oh, no.
Thank you, Maury. Come.
Wow, man. I tell you, just to hear them say the words, they are finally back together, man. Just, what happened? What happened, man? I want to see that happen again. Oh, man. Shout out to Jesse Johnson. Jesse, if you're watching, or if you watch later, ma'am, shout out to you. There's a recent interview on Funkatopia. Jesse Johnson was actually on Funkatopia, and he made the statement that he really didn't care for the Condensate album. He didn't think it was good. So I hate that he feels that way, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I mean, he should know he was a huge part of it. So, it just, again, I wish this album would have gotten more play and more push, and there was a tour. Anyway, let me get back to some music real quick. I don't know if I'll get through every track tonight, because it's a lot of tracks. It's like 14 tracks, and I'm only at number 6. These tracks are so good, though. Let me just play track number 6 real quick, clip. It's called If I Was Your Man.
Ooh, honey, baby, there's so much that we can explore. Just a little motivation to be calling me more. Yeah. Got a blue, are you single? Checking on
So smooth, so smooth.
Cause you're looking like the tide.
You hear Jam and Lewis's production all over this one.
I send your favorite flowers, girl, then I'll swoop you up in my chauffeur-driven limousine. Candlelight dinner, take you dancing at the club, impress you till you fall in love. If I was your man, I'd make it right, even if it lasted for just one night. If I was your man, would you come with me, where love is flowing free and sexually ignite? If I was your man, I would be your first.
Isn't this nice?
Give you everything that your heart deserves. If I was your man, never have to ask, no. Need it so natural, you can have it all tonight. If I was your man.
So funky, so smooth. Anyway, I want to go back and show you some footage of more promotion. This is actually when the Time was introduced in a mall, and the people in the mall went nuts. Of course, they were promoting the Condensate album. Let's take a look at that footage real quick. A lot of promotion on this album, man. It just didn't go anywhere. You can tell people were excited, man. They were expecting what I was expecting. So much love for these dudes, man. Everybody loves their time. Anyway. All right, let's get back to some music real quick. I'm trying to get through this music as quickly as I can because there's just so much of it. So let's see. There's a song, number 7. It's called Role Play, which is really good. And it goes a little something like this.
Welcome to my fantasy.
Every song on the album is just in your face.
Just let your imagination run wild.
Which disappoints me.
Bittersweet to get this close.
This thing
but you just can't have
didn't go anywhere.
Don't that make you mad? Feeding for peace, want stress release. Girl, you know I got it. Knock off the air.
So underrated.
Cause ain't nobody bad like me. Girl, let's get abstract. Put the suds in the bubble bath. I make you a dress. Then I'll wash it off. All over you. Cause you the superstar of the league. I'm gonna draft you on the team. Cause you're the best ball player. And you're playing great indeed. Double triple sexy people. If you came to play, let's play. Tonight we're role playing. Masquerade.
All right. That was Role Play. Okay, let me pull up some more footage from the DVD documentary that was included. I only showed a small clip, but bear with me 1 minute as I pull that file in real quick. And so you can kind of get a feel of what the DVD documentary was about. There we go.
Then we got on tour with Prince, the Controversy Tour, which was us, Roger Troutman and Zapp, and of course Prince. And at that point, it got absolutely crazy.
It's weird. It's like when I think of it, I just remember it's so, being caught in tall grass, meaning you just lost all the time, because it was our first time in that kind of, giant venue and playing for that many people, and we really didn't know who we were or what we were doing. We had to learn. It was like jumping out of a plane, and then they go, and you go, what do I do? How do I land? And they say, you'll figure it out when the ground gets closer.
I thought the Controversy Tour lived up to its name.
We ended up going back to Detroit, to the Joe Louis Arena. Now this is like 20,000 plus people. And it was crazy. They dimmed the lights, said the time was coming out, and the roar from the crowd was so loud that it was almost, deafening. It's like I couldn't even think straight.
Well, the Controversy Tour was great because people just ate us up. And me being a kid from the north side of Minnesota, and all these people are like screaming and hollering.
Right from the very beginning,
I can believe it.
People were crazy about these dudes.
The song sounded better than the record.
They had seen nothing like
Dancing
this.
was harder. The antics were crazy. But it all was done, and it looked very easy. Because it was so well rehearsed. We would rehearse 5-6 hours a day. And so by the time, Morris and Jerome would hit their little thing, and they'd be like, bloop, 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 and the mirror would pop up right on beat, bam! And Morris would start combing his hair, and everything was like effortless, but it was because of the work. And you remember this was before the time of, internet, blogs, and all that. So entertainment was reported by critics, and that's how you would find out who was doing well and who wasn't doing well. And the thing we began to notice was that the Time reviews were always very good, better than a normal opening act type reviews. It would always be, yeah, press was good, great, definitely should go see it. Make sure you don't miss the time.
We didn't realize that we were really making Prince that nervous until he started kicking up. We would be in a major city like New York, or first time playing Los Angeles, and he would kick us off the bill, and we was like, we were really upset by that.
That was devastating to me, man. When we were taking off the marquee in the big cities, that was devastating to me. For one, I had to stand backstage and meet all these big famous people that came to the show to see. They wanted to see us, and we weren't there.
New York. He wouldn't let us on the show. LA, we couldn't, so some of the major markets he was, taking us off the bill.
He was afraid of the time.
I always look back at it and say, what I didn't make in money, I earned in the experience, and I could have never, bought that with all the money in the world. So
we did everything we could to make those 30 minutes count, and I'd like to think it showed after a while. It seemed to cause, I don't know, problems.
All right, so this is the kind of stuff that you'll find on the DVD documentary that was included with the album. And shout out to Jelly Bean, man. I met Jelly Bean back in the late '90s at a club called Characters. They were performing there that night, not the original 7, but like the revised time. And this was after the show, and Jelly Bean came out, and I just thanked him for the talent and the memories. And at that time, he had just produced or discovered, actually, I think he discovered produced Mint Condition's first album. And he told me that those guys were like his sons. And shout out to Jerome. I met Jerome a couple times. Jerome's really cool. Second time I met Jerome, I gave him my demo, which was on CD, and he was reached in his pocket, pulled out some money. I told this story before. He pulled out some money. He's like, "How much do I owe you for this CD?" I'm like, "Man, you don't owe me anything, man. You guys are my mentors. Keep the CD. No money required." Very cool. Very cool dudes, man. So let's get back to some music real quick from this Condensate album. Let's see, where did I leave off? That was Role Play. And then, let's see, the next track is track number 8, which is a song called Sick, and trust me, this song is sick. Let's go.
The doctor's in the house, baby. MD. Here to take care of all of your medical needs. Come on, and let me look at you. You got the shots, a tight abdomen. I see a cute face, and in this case, the back of 10. The way you wiggle them legs, baby, cause chronic stress. Girl, you got that body like every woman wants.
And if this is any indication of the unreleased time stuff that's in the vault, I can't wait.
Anytime they rockin', girl, your shit is sick. And babe, you need the love doctor to make me hot with the dancing feel. Girl, your shit is sick. Every time you dip low,
I would love to see that first album by The Time released as a deluxe package with Prince on vocals.
your complications are gonna need a little intensive care. I need to treat your symptoms, take you back to the house, give you mouth to mouth, and gonna treat you out. Baby, I think you're contagious. Posterior shock. Anytime you're rockin', girl, your shit is sick.
Girl, your stuff is sick. Anyway, let's go back to some footage real quick. I don't know if you guys remember the Michael Basin show. Back in 2011, his show was pretty huge, and he had The Time on and did a little interview with those guys, and they performed on the show as well. And in fact, I think Morris Day became like his musical director at one time on that show. after that. So let's check out that footage real quick. This is, of course, promoting the Condensate album as well.
Welcome back. I'm here with the legendary Boys Day Time. Show us all. Let's first and foremost, let's get the introductions out the way. Starting with Jelly Bean.
Jelly Bean Johnson, Minneapolis.
Jesse Johnson, Minneapolis.
Monty Moyer, Minneapolis.
Terry Lewis, Minneapolis.
Jerome Bent, Minneapolis. Morris Day, Minneapolis by way of Springfield, Illinois.
In the house, man. First and foremost, the time is in the house, man. I cannot tell you how excited I am, of course, more with you working us here with the show, man. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Had a chance to see you guys on the Grammy. Did you all see them on the Grammy throwing down? That must have been a great experience getting together again. What was that like, Mo?
Well, it was nice because we thought we wanted to get back out there in a small venue and get it started back up, and we just happened to do it in front of 65 million people on the Grammy, so it was great.
It was great. Yeah, you did. I mean, you guys have a great one. See, right now they calm. What'd you call Jelly Bean in the back a second ago when we found out it was a Scorpio?
Oh, you know, that red, look like crushed berry cotton.
You think about all the songs, the Jungle Love, the Gigolos Get Lonely Too, the Bird, the whole nine. I know you all came out of that Prince experience. How did this whole thing get started, Morris?
Well, the whole thing started really with two local bands in Minneapolis. One was Grand Central, and the other was Flight Time. Flight Time was Terry, Jimmy, Jelly Bean, and Monty. And the Grand Central was me, Prince, and a few of our friends. So we ended up merging the two best bands in Minneapolis together. We went to Rock Island, Illinois, and heard about this brother who did 30-minute guitar solos by himself on stage.
I wonder who that
and we said that's the man for the gig. So that's really how it all came together.
How did they approach you, Jesse? You remember when they came down there? What was that experience like? Who came to see you?
Actually, I met Morris. I was playing in this biker bar. It was a jam night, and I met Morris, and he said, "Man, you need to come to Minneapolis." And so I came to Minneapolis a few weeks later, and Morris, I was there for about maybe 3 days. Morris left the band. I came up with Prince, took off for Prince, but he introduced me to Prince, and I had my guitar and all that, and I said, "You want me to play?" And Prince just looked at me and said, "No, he got the job."
Just like that. Jelly Bean, you've been when this whole thing started. What's it been like for you? You've been back there holding down the skins, man, for all these years. What's the experience been like for you all these years, man?
It's been great. I mean, these guys are my friends. You know, way back playing sports, going high school.
Tell them how far we go back.
We go back since we were 12. We used to line our drum sets up in his mom's bedroom.
That's way back.
Living room.
Sorry, 12.
What'd you call it? Sex
lit.
As you can see, I take a lot of grief.
Yes, you do. You know, something that you all may not know. Let me share this with the entire audience. This is the first time in 18 years they've appeared on television. They did it on Bays and the Dog, so show them some love for that. That's huge.
It's too much of a gap. Too much of a gap between the time that these guys were together, and I'm still trying to wrap my hands around the fact that they're not, man. And I'm still trying to wrap my hands around the fact that we haven't gotten more material from them than what we have. 5 albums. Anyway, let me continue with the basin footage. This is actually the performance that they did on the Micro Basin show as well.
Johnson, Dr. LaWanna Gladney, Kim Cole, the comedian, Damn Fool, show us some love. Now it's time for our special guest, Morris Day at the Time. Take us home. Good night, family.
Nothing like the originals, man. I love the revised time, but the original 7, the original time. Right. What's the volume like on this side? These videos have such low volume. Hopefully you can hear it. There you go, in your face. Anyway, let's get back to some music. I'm going to try to get through these tracks as quickly as I can. We're running out of time here. I'm kind of going on an hour and a half already. So let's see. The last thing I played was 6. So let's check out a clip from a song called Lifestyle off the Condensate album. Here we go. Slowing it down a little bit.
Yes.
Quiet Storm on the radio.
So glamorous. But the bottom line is, it ain't easy.
This one should have gotten a lot of play on the R&B stations, especially late at night. Quiet Storm shows.
Brand new Bentley drop top. Live at the city's best address. Look like I stepped straight out of a magazine. High fashion at its best. I'm on the Fortune Top 500, playing the game, girl, with success. So much money, had to get my own armored car, and it's got my name on there. I've got everything that a man could want, but I'm lonely, I must confess. I went out looking for a little bit of company. That's when I saw this dime staring at me. She saw herself in my Hall of Fame, thinking her life would never be the same. She gon' be rich. Private jets and trips to Vegas and shopping spree. She fell in love with my lifestyle.
The vocals on that one.
She was feeling me, but she fell in love with my lifestyle. And she wants it.
All right. Nice slow jam for you. Should have gotten some airplay. Let's see. Moving on to track number 10. It's called Faithful. Mellowed out Morris.
Wouldn't call us lovers, but just the same, we're more than friends. So girl, don't get all caught up.
I'm telling you, man, every track on this CD
in
was
your feelings, cause I can't pretend.
right there.
All I want is just one night, but I don't want no strings attached.
Maybe they do a re-release soon. Push it a little harder, some airplay. That would be cool.
Ain't trying to make a fool of you, that's not polite. Just want your love experience for just one night. So when you see me with somebody else, don't get uptight, cause faithful ain't the same for me. All the pretty girls say all the sexy girls.
Shout out to Sue Ann Carwell. As I mentioned earlier in the show, she's doing backup on multiple songs on this album.
I wrestle with a temptation most every night. Mysterious and beautiful, yeah, that's my type. So irresistible, I can't control my appetite. Cause faithful ain't the same for me. It's like I turn them on, and I can't turn no more. It's like the way that Jack and music.
See what I mean by this album, man? It should have gotten more play, more push than this. Let's move on to track number 11. We're almost there. This one's called Cadillac.
Nice set of high beam, turn them on. Lots of junk in the trunk. You in for the ride of your life tonight.
This reminds me of something off of the Graffiti Bridge album.
Do a little foreplay, got me in the mood. Think I'll take a ride. Wait a minute, stop. Girl, you're gonna get your shot. Let's take it to the toy box. 13 car garage.
Release it?
Choose one that's hot. Should I take the Benz out? Should I take the Beam out?
Release it. It reminds me of that song Release It from the Graffiti Bridge album.
Audi. Should I take the Jaguar? Should I take the Lincoln? What should I take? Cadillac. Jump in my house.
It's the one that Ingrid Chavez was on. I can't remember which track that was.
Luxury, the stylish dash, equipped with fine amenities like cruise control. In case you wanna work the stick in my ride.
If anybody remembers which track the Time did on the Graffiti Bridge album that features Ingrid Chavez, drop it down in the chat. I want to say Release It.
Should I take the Lincoln?
No, yeah.
Cadillac. Oh, we rolling Detroit. Surrounded by sexiness. Junk in the trunk.
All right.
Too nasty.
Anyway, that's Cadillac. Let's keep it moving with some more Condensate. This is AYDK. Oh man, I need my glasses for this one. This was called AYDKMN.
The art of deception, so true. Often ain't
Heavy guitar in that one. Shout out to Jesse.
simply preposterous. You have to be very careful the type of woman that might attempt to even run this type of game. So it's hard. I like this one here. I know you're trying to be cool, but girl, you're just a little too cool. Hanging with the good girls, but that ain't how you usually roll. Well, that's why you lose me anytime you start to talk about love. Already know the truth, but I ain't trying to get too busted. You make an average picture look like a beautiful thing. I ain't trying to break your frame, but if a man's wrong for your game, baby, I'ma let him like what he likes. Baby, we're groovy. Why you acting all persnickety? Walk right by me, don't even
Funky, man.
Oh, you don't know me now.
Re-release this album. Give it some push.
In the VIP, had you in my room laying up next to me. Oh, you don't know me now. But what you got to do?
All right. Very funky track. Excuse me. This ain't cool.
Faster. Yeah. I'm seeing what I like to see. Panoramic. Here we go. Mission Impossible. This is a job for me. I always like to play the superhero. Rescue the damsels from corny discos. Shape the silhouette, flow perfectly with the light show. She looking like somebody that I wanna know. So pull up and take me to my chateau. And horizontal dance if we're compatible. One step, come on, one step, keep up. One step,
It's called One Step.
one step, keep up. One step, bad enough. One step, I'm taking you. One step close to the one step, good
Anyway, sorry about that cough attack. Jerome, bring me some water. Anyway, that was One Step. And then we've got Toast to the Party Girl. My bad, y'all. Price you pay for going live. No net.
Every time showdown, hanging out.
Rock flavor.
Bands, signing autographs.
Jesse.
It walks a sexy school teacher type. Says you wanna meet the band. Can't you teach your moves? Now if you wanna teach me something, baby, go ahead and make your move. I hope you got something hot.
I know I can, cause I got a line.
It's about to pick up.
Then bring it on, let me see what you got. I started playing with it.
Background vocals.
Got the girl so turned on. She turned the party out. Acting sweet and innocent, that's part of her mistake. But underneath it, she's a closet freak. Toast to the party girl. Come on, let's party. Oh, I like your exhibition.
All right. They're heading down to the second verse. Let's go with the next one, which is going to be, it's called Hey Yo, number 15. We're almost there. One more to go, y'all, and I will let you go.
I'm not one to hang about the club, but I must admit, you've got my
Still praying that YouTube doesn't slap me tonight
slow it down.
with the copyright stuff.
Mix it up. Erotic with it.
Once again, YouTube, Facebook, I do not own the rights to this music. We need to see that in text form. I can do that too.
If you came here looking for the time of your life, you gon' find it up in here. Cause we about to get it cracking like the 4th of July. Fireworks in full effect.
Morris Day's vocals are on point on this album.
Baby, won't you catch it? Oh no, you can't keep still. And once you get into the flow, hot and ready to roll, the sexy part is gonna kick in. I'm doing my thing, making you sweat. Just ooh, I ain't gonna stop until your body get wet. I got skill and say I'm the best. You like it? If you want a piece of me, I'ma let you work it out. Let's rock the house tonight. Won't be no stopping, baby, once we get it poppin'. Let's rock it out tonight. Rockin' and rollin' till the wee hours of the morning. Let's rock the house tonight. Life's so much better when you live it on the edge.
It's nice and smooth, man.
Let me rock you, rock you, rock. Ready to get it up, get it on, feed the fire with juice, goes in a drink, a drink.
All right, one verse. Let's move on to the very last song. And the very last one is track 16, and it's called Go Home to Your Man, which reminds me a lot of the song from the Pandemonium album. Sometimes I get lonely. But this is kind of the opposite, but they sound similar, so let's check that out. Another slow jam for the Quiet Storm. This would have gotten a lot of airplay on the R&B stations.
Baby, it's been real.
So nice.
Thanks for hooking me up. I thank you for the thrills. Tell me, how do you feel? From that look on your face, I know you like my skills. But playtime is over, and this evening we're sharing must come to an end. Playtime is over, and I just hope you understand. You got to go home to your man. Wasn't I clear?
right, y'all. I'm just gonna let this one ride out. This is the last track on the album. Time to go home to your man. I want to thank everybody who joined in tonight to help me revisit Condensate album, one of the most underrated albums put out by the time, original 7. Drop down in the comments and let me know what your favorite track is off this album if you have it. I kind of went over each track, played some video footage from the promotion that they did the time this album was released. So once again, thank you so much for joining. Remember, head over to YouTube, subscribe to me there, help me build this thing. I'm also over on Instagram, also over on TikTok. I got a Facebook group, and I'm under the handle at the Freakopotamus Podcast. So subscribe and follow on all those platforms. And remember, everybody, as always, I like to say, live, love, and dream. And we will see you on the next episode. Peace and love, y'all.